Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer and welcome to Best Kept Plans. Today we're going to be doing a cash envelope stuffing for the paycheck that I received on October 14th, 2021 using the Budget by Paycheck Workbook from the Budget Mom. If you all are interested in seeing that, please stick around. Okay, so we are nice and zoomed in. I have all of my money laying out here. There are some $5 bills that you guys can't see, but that's just because I want to make sure I'm zoomed in enough so that you have a clear view of this page here. I do want to start out this week's cash envelope stuffing with an update on my emergency fund. I've mentioned in a bunch of my previous cash envelope stuffings that I do have a bank account at my bank with my emergency fund in it. But I wanted to find a way to continue growing that fund without feeling like I needed to budget specifically for it. And so what I've been doing is at the end of every pay period, I take whatever unused cash I have from my variable expense cash envelopes, which are my eating out, gas, and miscellaneous envelopes, and I put it into this specific cash envelope to build my emergency fund. It's building really slowly. That's how I was anticipating it to go because I do use the vast majority of my variable expense cash, but it is making progress, which is really exciting. So at the end of my last pay period, I was able to put $15 in here, so it should have a total of $263. There are tons of singles in here. I needed to make some change for a different envelope a few days ago, so there's tons of singles in here, but I thought we'd count this envelope up together. So we have 100, 200, 210, 20, 30, 40, 240, 241, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 250, 251, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 260, 261, 262, 263. Perfect. So I am going to put this all back in that envelope. We're getting close to the $300 mark, which is really exciting, and I can actually fill in the next line on the little tracker that I have on the front here. Now that we're done with that, we're going to go right into my eating, my variable expense cash envelopes and my eating out cash envelope. So I do still have the same envelopes that I did last pay period. I am going to use these for the whole month of October, and then I might actually print out just the same exact ones for November since they're fall themed. We'll see. I did update my tracker to indicate that I'm putting a $50 in here, and I'm going to do that in two 20s and a 10. $20, $40, $50. And this envelope is all set. Next, we're going to talk about my gas envelope. So I always put $50 in my gas envelope and one $50 bill, which is what you can see on my cash envelope breakdown here. But I actually had to get gas. I'm filming this on the 15th. I didn't have a chance to film it yesterday, but I did go to the bank yesterday. And right after I went to the bank, I actually had to go to the gas station to fill up my tank. So I did indicate on here that on the 14th, I deposited $50. But then you can see that I also wrote in that I went to the Stop and Shop gas station and I put $41 worth of gas in my car. That left me with $9, and that is what you're going to see here. I actually have the $9 off to the side of 5 and 4 singles, but I am after this video going to pull out that $5 bill, and I'm going to stick it in the container that I have for my $5 challenge, so I will only have $4 left in here. Now, a lot of times I do contemplate taking out $5 bills from my gas envelope. I never want to be in a situation where I'm running low on gas and I don't have the funds. But what I've kind of decided, or what my rule of thumb has been, is that I usually don't drive enough to need to fill up my tank more than once a pay period. And so I usually always have at least a few dollars in my gas cash envelope at the end of every pay period. Like last pay period, I had 13 left, which I transferred over to my emergency fund. And so I kind of, knowing that information, it makes me feel a little better about pulling that $5 bill out. The other thing is that if I needed to get more gas, I could always pull it from my miscellaneous envelope, or I could just always use my cushion. It's not the end of the world if I needed to do that. So that's why I am pulling out that $5 bill. It definitely, like, I have to think about it, and I hesitate about it every time I get one in here, but especially now, like, gas prices are going up. Like, it did not used to take me $41 to fill up my tank. For the past like year and a half since the pandemic started, it was taking like low 30s, and then more recently like maybe mid 30s to fill up my gas tank. And so $41 is definitely more than I'm used to. But you know, for now, I still feel like I'm always coming in under that $50 every other week, unless I'm traveling, unless I'm driving, you know, for a trip or something like that. So that's what we're going to have in my gas envelope. And then moving on to my next envelope, we have my miscellaneous envelope, and I'm going to be pulling out a $100 bill, a $50 bill, two $20 bills, and a $10 bill. Let's count that all up. Make sure we have 200, 100, 150, 170, 190, 200. Perfect. And I did update this, the back of this envelope as well, and did include the October 2021 savings challenges. So my deposit of $200 is in, and then we will be removing $50 for the 2021 challenge later in the video. Next, we are going to be moving on to my sinking funds. And as always, I've decided to go with the largest denominations I can when pulling out cash from my sinking funds. So for travel, I put in $50, and that is going to be in a single $50 bill. I updated the envelope. We should have $300 in here. So let's count that up. 152, 253. Great. You know, I know I've mentioned, like, in more recent videos, I did go away for a weekend in Maryland, and I just recently went away for a weekend in New Hampshire, and I didn't actually use any money from here. One of the reasons why is because this is for 2022. We're still in 2021, but also because I just want to see this grow a little bit, and I'm really anticipating using this for more larger vacations. Little weekends away or long weekends away, I can usually manage by cash flowing. And I'd rather this go to a bigger trip. Everyone's different though. You know, you kind of have to find what works for you. In an ideal world, I'd be putting a lot more money to this every month to have a more substantial fund that I could use 4 weekends away and not completely empty out and still have building for like a larger trip. But right now, with my goal and my priority being saving for a house, that's just not where I want my funds to go. So $50 a pay period is working for me in here, and I'm just going to save this up for my next larger vacation. I think I've mentioned before that I really want to go back to Disney again in the next year and a half or so. And the reason is because they're doing their 50th anniversary celebration, because Magic Kingdom has been open for 50 years. I definitely want to go to Disney for that. I do tend to go to Disney once a year anyways, but again, with the priority being saving for a house, I really wasn't necessarily intending on doing that next year. But I think I do want to do that. And I think we're going to go a little bit of a different time than we normally do. I usually go to Disney for the beginning of July. I'm usually always there for 4th of July. And it's just so hot, and I'm just getting too old for the heat. So I think we're going to try to go when the weather's a little bit cooler. That celebration for the 50th is going on for a year and a half. So maybe next fall, maybe about a year from now. And so this can go towards that if that ends up happening. And of course, as that kind of gets a little bit closer, I would certainly you know, be saving more towards that specifically if we end up deciding to do that. So my next sinking fund is my Christmas sinking fund. Let's move up all of our cash. And for this one, we are putting $25 in a $20 bill and a $5 bill. So we have 25 here. And I did update the envelope. We should have $150 in here. Let's see. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Perfect. So $150. And again, the goal is 700. And I'll definitely be meeting that in time, which is really exciting. Oh, I can also fill in another line on my tracker here because I have over $128 in this envelope. Next envelope is subscriptions. This goes for my Amazon Prime, which I pay annually, my Disney Plus, which I pay annually, and my Hulu, which I've now started paying annually. We are going to be putting in $15 in a $10 bill and a $5 bill. It's our last 10 and 5. And I did update the tracker on the back, so we should have $80 in this envelope. $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60. Oh my word, everyone. I'm so sorry about that. And I'm definitely not going to cut that off the video. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80. Perfect. Oh, that was too funny. I knew it was coming and I was like, do I pause the video? And then I thought I had it under control, but no, the sneeze had to occur. Oh, and I can also update this envelope as well, fill in another line because we have over $72 in here. Next is my medical envelope. I am going to be adding in $20 in a single $20 bill. This is for copays and also for glasses, which I do wear and usually get a new pair of every year. So we should have 120 in here. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. Okay. And we can't quite fill in the next line yet. Next pay period, we'll be able to. Next, we have my car maintenance sinking fund. So I put $120 every pay period in this, and this is not just for car maintenance. It also includes my car taxes, which I pay annually, and my car insurance, which I pay annually. I am intending on splitting this envelope up just to make things a little bit more easier for me. I'm going to split it so that I have actual car maintenance money in one, and then my car tax and car insurance money in another. That way I'm not thinking I have more money than I actually do towards car maintenance specifically. If you look at the back of my tracker, I actually did go for an oil change recently. I got it done a little bit early, but I didn't want to travel all the way up to New Hampshire without, like, towards the end of my oil life. So I also got my tires rotated, and so it was $88, which came out of this envelope. But we are going to be depositing $120, so I should have $11.07 in this envelope with the $100 bill and the $20 bill that we are adding in. So let's count that all up. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000, 20, 40, 60, 80, 1,100, 1,105, 1,106, 1,107. Perfect. So that's going to go back in this envelope, and I'm going to make that switch to 2 separate envelopes in 2022. I've just kind of gone ahead, maybe not in my weeks. Yeah, not in my weeks, but I had gone ahead into October and November and kind of done all of my like pre-budgeting, and so I didn't want to make things more complicated for myself or have to print out new sheets and everything. So I just decided to hold on and wait until 2022 for that. Next is my birthdays cash envelope, and that's going to be getting $20 in a single $20 bill. And we now with this deposit should have $120 in here. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. Perfect. And with this deposit, we are going to be able to fill in another line on the front tracker. Lastly, we have my holidays envelope, which is getting our last $20 bill, and that should also have a total of 120 in it. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. It's so exciting. Like, I'm almost halfway done saving for this envelope. I'm budgeting $300 annually for the holiday envelope, which is mostly for Mother's Day, Father's Day, but also for Halloween candy, any like holiday specific decorations I want. And the goal is 300. We already have 120 in here, and it's not even 2022 yet, which is really exciting. And I can also fill in another tracker on the front. So lastly, we will be pulling money from our miscellaneous envelope to put into the October envelope for the 2021 savings challenges from the Budget Mom. I have already updated the tracker on the back because I get paid. Let's go to monthly view actually. I'm going to try not to zoom out. But so I got paid on the 14th. And because I get paid bi-weekly, I actually have to pull for the 20th and the 27th because my next paycheck isn't until the 28th. And so on the tracker here, I do write the actual dates for when I'm supposed to be pulling the cash out. I just prefer to do it right in the beginning when I get paid and I'm stuffing my envelopes, because I'd hate for the 27th to come around and me not to have $25 in here. Like that's, and I can see that happening. I can see that happening, like maybe not every time, but I'm sure there's a likelihood that would happen at least a few times. So to me, it makes more sense to just pull it right at the beginning. And so we have $200 in this envelope, and we're going to pull $50 out. 100, 150, 120, 170, 190, 200. And I'm going to just do it in the single $50 bill. So we should have 150 left in here. So 100, 120, 140, 150. Perfect. And the reason I did it that way is that I didn't want to have just a single $50 bill and a single $100 bill in here. Sometimes I need the money in here to make change for myself. So it's better to have those 20s and 10s in there for me. That being said, I'm also more likely to spend smaller denominations. So, but I'm going to add that $50 bill into here, and we should have $110, 50, 100, 110. So we are officially done saving for the 2021 savings challenges for October, which is really, really exciting. I actually don't know if I've even updated my monthly for November yet to indicate them. Oh, I did. Okay. So as you can see for the month of November, and again, I'm still a little zoomed in, so sorry about that. But I did already fill in what I need to remove from my cash envelopes every week. And it is going to be on Mondays, and there's 5 Mondays in the month of November. So we're going to be pulling for 5 different savings, which is really exciting. Actually, let me zoom out a little bit. I'll give you all a little bit of a preview into November. I had done this monthly a while back. I do like to do my monthlies in advance. You can see my December one is also already done. But after having done it, I realized like I hate when I'm paying bills with one paycheck, but it's after the next paycheck. And that's what I had done in November and actually December as well. So again, with my paycheck on the 11th, I'm paying everything that's in this dark teal color. So my Discovery plus my Netflix, my Optimum, my Verizon. But I also budgeted to do my my contribution to my church and my Fed loan, which I'm not technically even paying on anyways. But I don't like the idea of paying my church contribution with the paycheck on the 11th when I'll already have gotten paid again on the 25th. So what I ended up doing is I wrote a note for myself here that instead I'm going to pay these two with my paycheck I'm receiving on the 25th. And that, of course, will be reflected in my paycheck bill trackers and everything. But that's just a little preview of November for you all. I hope you all enjoyed this cash envelope stuffing. We are in the middle of the month, and I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit of a calm second half to October, and that the cash in these envelopes, especially my variable expense cash envelopes, doesn't really get spent all that much, but we'll see how it goes. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that if you have any questions or comments or concerns, put them on down below. I love hearing from you all, and as always, everyone, be safe. Bye-bye.